Greetings, everyone. I hope that you all are having the most wonderful day. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you. Today, my video is entitled, "The Body Keeps the Score of All Our Thoughts and Actions." Sit back, relax, and let's begin. Please consider before you do or after you do something to someone, whether you may be unwittingly replicating a trauma from the person's past, because the body keeps the score of all our thoughts and our actions. Our brain has a very important job of ensuring our survival, even when we are under the most miserable and difficult situation in life. However, in order to do so, the brain needs to do some functions. One, the brain generates signals internally which will help us to understand what our body needs. For example, if our body needs food, rest, shelter, the brain generates a signal to tell the body that it needs these things. Number two, the brain creates a plan or map which will point us to where we can go to satisfy these needs. So if we have a need for food, then the brain will give us a plan or tell us we could go here to this restaurant or go home or whatever, so that we could get this need satisfied. Number three, the brain also generates the energy that we need to perform the necessary actions that will get us to the source for satisfying our need. So if we use the example about needing food, then if we have to go to a restaurant, then the brain will tell us that we need to travel, take a bus, get into our car, or whatever we have to do to get to that place in order to satisfy our needs for food. Number four, the brain also warns us of any dangers and opportunities along the way. So all these signals are registered by the brain, and all these signals are kept within the body, so that if we have a recurrence of being hungry, then automatically these same signals will begin to generate within our bodies. The same way trauma is held within people's bodies. So anytime something happens to reactivate that particular type of trauma, then the reactions that will come from that person will automatically happen, because there is a record kept in the body of all the thoughts, all the actions. So trauma is kept there in the body. As human beings, we strive and survive best in groups, and as such, This takes a lot of coordination and collaboration in order to be successful in dealing with others. Psychologically, problems occur in life when our internal signals don't function as it should, and our maps or our plans don't lead us to where we want to go. When we are too traumatic to move, or when the actions we take does not correspond to the needs we want satisfied, or when our important relationships break down, all this causes trauma, which interferes with proper functioning of the brain, causing it not to effectively carry out all its functions. So, if we have an internal need for food, and there is no way that we could satisfy this need externally, then trauma happens. If we have an internal need for love and appreciation, and somehow there is no external correlation to satisfy this need that we're having, then it causes trauma in our lives. And a repetition of this situation causes the trauma to increase more and more in our lives. And because the body keeps the score of all our thoughts and all our actions, you will find that at any time we are placed in similar situations that were traumatic for us in the past, and we encounter it at any time again, we find that our reaction will be similar, because if we had felt angry because we wasn't able to satisfy the desires or the needs that we had, then when we are confronted again with a similar situation, anger will again come forth. So if we are not able to manage our emotions, if we are not able to control this working within our body, then we will find that we will just be reacting to traumatic situations as they pop up from day to day. So that is why it is very, very important that we be very careful in the way that we deal with others. We need to consider the things that we say to them. We need to consider the way we treat others. We need to consider how we behave towards others, because we may not know what traumatic situations they may have in their lives prior. And when we do things that make them relive that situation, then the reaction that we get from them may be one that we will not like. So it is very important that we take cognizance of this fact and treat others as we would like to be treated ourselves. In concluding, let me say, many people are so bent on staying in control at all costs that they do so in the face of terrifying and confusing realities. They never take into consideration the ecology of the lives of others. There are many people today who are suffering from trauma, especially trauma from their past. like abuse, threats, rapes, abandonment, or they may even witness violence in their families, especially while they were children, and the body is still carrying the score of all the thoughts and the actions that happen around those traumatic situations in their past. They still remember how they felt when that was going on in their childhood, and they still remember that they act about the actions that they wanted to take but could not have taken because they was a child. So many people have had many other horrifying experiences. So we have to be very, very mindful of the way that we treat others. Let us think before we speak, and let us think before we act. Thank you for listening. Thank you for visiting my restoration channel. I trust that you have received some value from my discussion. Please leave your comments, hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. This will be helpful so that I can continue to bring you more restoration gems. This is Infinite Restorer, sending you more peace, more love, more light. Until I see you again, stay well.